Welcome to You Decide Campground Shakedown. In these short videos, we are going to give you information about the campgrounds that we stayed in, particularly Thousand Trails, but we'll also do other videos. The reason we wanted to do these videos is because in researching Thousand Trails campgrounds, I couldn't really get the information that I needed to make a decision on if I wanted to stay there or not. So that's why we came up with these short videos to help you out.
Right.
So welcome back to You Decide. This campground review is about Fremont Jellystone Campground in Fremont, Wisconsin. This is a Thousand Trails resort, so for 7 nights we paid $0. We were in site 236, and there's probably well over
300.
300 sites here in this campground. Lots to choose from.
Yeah.
The first category is staff friendliness, ease of check-in, and this is obviously as a Thousand Trails resort, so we do our booking online for Thousand Trails, so that was no problem. The one thing about Thousand Trails is you don't ever know exactly what kind of sites you're going to get. So I typically call the week before and ask what type of site we're in, and I also request what we want, and whether or not that works or not, who's to say. But so I did call this resort a week ahead of time and asked for a 50 amp sewer site, and they didn't have both. They had one or the other, so I chose 50 amp at that time because they didn't have any sewer sites available. Right. I called while we were actually driving to the campground again because they closed their pool down. They have one of their big popular things is their pool, and I got an email saying that they closed that down. So we assumed that we assumed that there would be some cancellation. So again, I wanted to request a 50 amp sewer site. Again, they didn't have either, but this time we did switch to sewer and opted for 30 amp because the week was going to be cooler and we wouldn't need both of our air conditioners in this particular week. But the check-in was a piece of cake. They had everything set up outside because of COVID, or you just kind of walked up to the window, everybody was friendly, and we had no problem finding our site, so everything was great that way.
So our second point is the general vibe of the campground. In this particular campground, again, it was a little low-key just because, again, where we were at, we were a little further away from the main areas of the campground. Very nice neighbors. It is a seasonal campground, so during the week it was very quiet because the seasonal folks went home. And towards the Thursday of the weekend, they were starting to come back, and again, very friendly, respectful, and again, just a good overall group of people in the area.
Good campground vibe. No worries complaints there. So number 3 is amenities. This is a Jellystone park. There's tons of amenities, and this is a family park. There was a pool with a giant slide, which unfortunately was closed. Didn't matter to us because we don't travel with kids, but it has a great pool.
Jump pad.
Yeah, huge jump pad. Playgrounds, some areas we didn't even go over to. There was, I believe there was horseshoes and tennis maybe. I'm not even sure. There was volleyball. A ton. But this campground also is located on a lake, and we did take our dog down there to swim. There are campsites on the lake if you want to choose those campsites. In addition to all the amenities, they have a lot of cabins for rent too. If you don't have an RV, you can camp there in one of the cabins.
Yep. Number 4 on our list are hookups. And again, as Chris mentioned earlier on, we were assigned a 50 amp, but because of the week, we were willing to take a 30 amp because it had sewer. So we're always, again, trying to have the sewer up front there. So we ended up with a 30 amp with the sewer site, and it worked out just fine.
Yeah, unfortunately we couldn't get both, but I understand. We haven't stayed at that many. This is our 4th, I believe, Thousand Trails. And apparently at Thousand Trails you can't always get everything you want, but we understood that going in, so that's not a problem. Okay, so number 5 is cleanliness. This park seemed very clean. I did peek into the laundry room and the bathrooms, and they were squeaky clean and smelled of bleach. And the other good thing about this park is the laundry was only $1 for wash and $1 for drying. I understand we don't use it because we do have our own washer and dryer, but I understand some campgrounds can charge you almost up to $3 for those things. So So that
Very
is
reasonable.
that's a perk.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing we forgot to mention when we were deciding on the site is they did tell me on the phone that this campground offers free pump outs for Thousand Trails members.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure I included that.
Daily schedules.
Well, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And so because we got the sewer site, we didn't need to take advantage of that, but they do offer that, which was very nice, especially for free, because a lot of times you pay maybe $15 for a dump out.
Right.
Okay. Number 6 is the condition and placement of the sites. This is kind of a strange campground. It has all these sort of like half circle things with little spurs off, and a lot of those are really easy to get into, but some not so much. We were in one of those loops, and we had this sort of mucky pond right in front, and it was a little bit terrifying. Ryan did a great job getting us in there, but it was a little terrifying because I thought we were going to end up in the pond. And we had a choice between 2 sites that both had sewer, and I went in. A good thing to do with this campground is to go and look at the satellite map and kind of judge where you think you might be able to get in, because the other site we would not have been able to get into. It was 234. We were in 236, and it was just the way that the seasonal sites were lined up. The seasonal site right in front of it had a golf cart and some other things, and we wouldn't have been able to maneuver our truck, so that would have been, we wouldn't have been able to get in there. And the original site that we were assigned to had some very low hanging branches, which you couldn't have seen any other way other than driving through the park. So if that's convenient for you to drive through the park quick and look, do that. But I ended up picking the right one just from a little bit of research. So I would say don't assume you can get into every site in this park. But we did get in our 40-foot fifth wheel,
and
no
it was
problem.
very spacious.
Yeah, huge site,
yeah.
Huge. We set up our tent thing for shelter. We put up our cornhole. We did all those things.
Yeah.
So that was a great site.
Right. Number 7 on our list is connectivity. Connectivity is very important to me specifically because I do work remotely. So making sure that we have access to that. We have both AT&T and Verizon, and the Wi-Fi system that we have is operated through Verizon. So again, the connectivity was wonderful. I did all the things that I'm supposed to be able to do at my desk.
We had no problems.
Right in the camper.
Number 8 is location, and I would say from my standpoint, we were a little bit torn on this one. For me, there was a little bit less going on in this area, but if you are a fisherman or a boater, you would love it.
The Wolf River, which connects to Partridge Lake, which is right on the resort itself, is a wonderful fish environment. We did a lot of fishing over the years for white bass. It's particularly good for that. Other, bass, northern, those type of things. So it's a great fishing area there. And just going back to, where the site was, or the location is just okay. We picked the spot specifically because we just want to get out. It's 1,000 Trails. It's close to our home. It was literally a half hour, 40 minutes from where we keep our camper. So we picked this location specifically just to get away. But again, as Chris said, not a ton going on in the area, but really a nice place to hang out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pro tips for this. Pro tip number 1, if you like great food and good cocktails in a great location, we were told about a restaurant called the Naughty Turtle, and that's naughty as in N-A-U-T-I, because it's right on the river and there's tons of boats there. But it was an unexpected little gem in Fremont, and we really enjoyed it. So check that out if you stay in that Thousand Trails campground.
Definitely. Pro tip number 2, again, unless you have a boat, there's not a ton to do in the area. However, 15 to 60 miles up the road is Wapaka. Wapaka offers the chain of lakes, which are beautiful if you like to, again, do paddleboarding, kayaking, canoeing, all those types of water activities. Great place up here. Plus, there's a beautiful state park. It's called Hartman Creek State Park,
which is where we are right now. In full disclosure, right. we are there right now. So
doing our reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really a gem of state parks in central Wisconsin.
Clear water, clear spring-fed water. We've had a hard time finding good places for our dog to swim, and this is beautiful, beautiful water here. So last pro tip, number 3, if you are a foodie or if you like beer, which we do, there's a few places to check out. You can check out H.H. Hinder Brewery in Wapaka, and they have some great craft brews there. If you like ice cream, check out Scoopers near the Chain of Lakes. Delicious ice cream.
Absolutely. So to wrap up the campground shakedown, the reason we chose this particular location was because it was close to home. Fremont from our location is only 35-40 minutes, and it was 1,000 trails. So again, during these uncertain times of COVID, we just kind of wanted to get away, and it was a perfect place for that. Would we stay there again? Again, no fault of the campgrounds, but we just don't have any reason really to be in the area, the Fremont area.
Right, we want to travel the country.
We want to travel the country. But if we had to come back to this area,
sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, no worries with the campground. So until next time.
Yeah.
Welcome to You Decide Campground Shakedown. We decided to do these short videos. Welcome to You Decide Campground Shakedown. In these short videos, we are going to, in these short videos, we'll provide campground information. You need to say it because I can't get it out.
All right, yeah.
I don't know why I can't get it out. Maybe I shouldn't have any wine. Okay, welcome to You Decide.
How about I do this? Yeah,
there you go. Welcome to You Decide Campground Shakedown. In these, why don't I have my glasses on? Welcome to... Now I really can't do anything.
So we are going to hit on 8 categories, which we seem to think are the most important based on...
And at the end of each video, we'll give you our... So we are just going to give the facts about the campgrounds as we saw them.
River is a wonderful river for...
wonderful river. Wonderful river.
It's dime one to stay there. Nice location. We were able to kind of get out and do the things we wanted to do.
Dime one?
What did I say? What did I end up saying?
Dime?
We paid $0.
Okay, just do that one more time and I'll pick out the best one. We'll have some good bloopers for this reel too. Makeup.
Not all of them.
I know.
That's terrible. Oh, we can spice it.